Today, the world offers us so many opportunities that even the impossible can seem possible. We move hurriedly about our lives, enjoying modern day conveniences. But despite the colorful blur that is modern progress, there is a less colorful world that has been left behind. Imagine living in a forgotten and invisible world, a remote community considered too difficult, inaccessible, and unimportant to be lifted from the shadows. How would you manage if you did not have access to even the most basic necessities of life: food, water, and shelter? Are we happy to let our brothers and sisters live in these conditions? Or is it possible to reach out to them and offer them the same opportunities the world offers us? It takes very little to plant the seed of personal growth, which quickly blossoms into the growth of an entire community.
Can you tell us about the Missionary Society and your work?
The Missionary Society of the Sacred Heart of Jesus is committed to uplifting lives in remote rural communities. With hearts of love, we go to the people and work with them, transforming their needs into opportunities of growth and learning.
What drives you to work in remote communities?
Many of the children and people of these remote communities have no concept of their true potential and are forced to live in daily struggle for survival. We believe every human being has the right to dream about their future. It is God's word that He has a particular plan and purpose for each of our lives.
Can anyone join and assist you in this endeavor?
Yes, all you need is a heart of love for these less fortunate than yourself persons. And you too can join us in our endeavor of love. In fact, we invite you to join us in whatever capacity you feel called to. Break ground with us and help us extend our reach to many more who need to hear of God's love.
While so many of the world's women live without the privileges and freedoms that others have come to expect, the situation is much worse for women in remote and rural communities. With fewer opportunities and cultural legacies that objectify and manipulate women, they are often the ones who shoulder the larger burdens of their people. Over the years, while working in these remote villages, we have seen the evidence to say that empowering women is imperative in this process of change and community progress. Once a woman has experienced empowerment and freedom of choice, she guarantees her children will not miss out on similar opportunities. She then spreads the word among the other women in the village, and the process of change begins.
About 50 years ago, in a remote village in Surat, Gujarat, only the postman had the ability to read. He would bring the letters into the village and read them out to the village folk. This highlighted the reality that there was no one who could read and write. Today, our boardings have enabled more than 5,000 young village girls secure education. Some have gone to the university and earned graduate as well as master's degrees. Education has opened up their world. The girls now have a lot more choices available to them. They not only know their rights, but are able to stand up for them as well. They are economically independent, no longer compelled to marry at a young age, and can raise their families with much better means. All this has uplifted the entire village community.
Over the past 50 years, we have seen how a lack of education has resulted in the exploitation of many village workers. The barter system still exists in these remote villages. You can borrow money for valuables. Villagers are exploited because they are not aware of the real value of things. Due to lack of education and knowledge, the workers were unable to keep accurate records of their hours and subsequent wages. We work with them to ensure that they are treated fairly and paid justly.
Today, leprosy is curable. Even though deformities may remain, the leprosy patient can look ahead with hope, knowing that once cured, they can live a relatively normal life. However, the stigma of leprosy lingers on.
Somi Devla is a leprosy patient and arrived at the hospital here with an ulcer on her foot. She did not want to go home because her family did not want her back. To ensure herself a place in the hospital, she aggravated the ulcer so much that finally it called for an amputation of the foot.
We also house and educate children of leprosy patients. This helps prevent the children from accompanying their parents, many of whom beg on the streets.
We cannot do everything, but we must do something. There is an urgency today to reach out with hearts of love to as many people and homes as we can across the globe. We currently have missions in Spain, Morocco, Peru, Congo, Chad, Colombia, Haiti, India, and Cambodia. We invite you to join us in our life and work and help us make this world a better place.